Have you ever felt guilty for putting a price tag to one of your services or products, or felt that nobody would pay for something you have to offer? I've been there. But the truth is that the world needs you and it needs the services you offer. But how can you make money or cash out from your passion without feeling less than or letting imposter syndrome kick in? I'm going to be diving into that in today's video. So if you're new here, let's dive in. And if you're an OG, welcome back. So the first thing is to identify your money makers. Think of your money makers as passion that can then give you a paycheck. So a passion that can, turn into something that is marketable, because not every passion you have can then translate to income. Because I like ice cream doesn't mean I would make money from ice cream, right? So you need to identify your money makers. For example, have you noticed people coming to you to help them solve a particular problem? That can be a money maker. Now think of it this way. Let's assume people come to me to ask for advice on their career, and I always seem to have the right answer. A smart move could be to have a digital product, whether an ebook or a one-off class that can be recurrent, let's say monthly, and put a price tag on it, because I've noticed that it is a problem that I can solve, that people come to me to help them solve. So why can't I make money by putting a price tag on an actual problem that I am capable of solving? The truth is, the more problems you can solve, the more you get paid, because we live in a world where you get paid for solving problems. Every job exists because there was a problem that somebody was capable of fixing, and that then translates to getting a job, right? So think of it this way: why were you hired? For example, let's say I'm great at handling socials. I can do that because there is a problem that somebody isn't capable of handling their socials, so they need my services to help them solve that problem, and I end up getting paid for solving that problem. So in summary, a moneymaker is a passion that can solve problems that actually exist, problems that have an already existing market. The next step is to then translate this passion into a product. Now, after identifying your moneymaker, what can you then translate it to? Could it be a service or a product? Now, using the last example that I mentioned, let's say I am a career coach, or people come to me for advice on their career. Now, let's say I want to have a career masterclass where I bring in HR professionals, right? There are two ways of going about it. I could have a one-off class or a recurring class, or I could have a digital product. Now, it really depends on how much time I want to spend, on that passion. Because now, being somebody that has a lot going on, right? The less time I have focusing on a side hustle, the more happier I am, right? Now, for me, I'll go two routes. I would have one, a monthly recurring class, and two, a digital product, which I already have, by the way. But now back to the question. The first thing is to have a monthly class where I basically have a clarity call that can span for about an hour or two, and I bring in a HR professional that talks to, let's say, newbies as to let's say their resume, or going about the interview process, right? So having a master class on everything career monthly, where I can then price that let's say 30K, right? That's one. That's like the bulk of the product, like the most expensive product in quotes, right? Now, because not everybody can afford to pay 30K for a class that is just one off, but they would have access to the recording, to it could be like in a drive, right? To kind of restrict access, to the public, right? That's on the side as well. Now, because not everybody can afford to pay 30K for a product, right? I can then now put a nugget from that class in a digital product, let's say an ebook. Now, I don't have to expend my energy hosting a class. I can put everything in a book and put it on a platform like, let's say, Seller or Mainstack, right? Now, I could let's say focus on, let's say, the branding side of the career world and put that in a short ebook. I can then now price that ebook for about, let's say 6K, or let's say 5K. Now, 30K to 5K, you can see the 25K margin. But now the thing is that with the 5K product, it might get a lot more people. A practical example. Now let's say about 20 people pay for the 30K for the 30K class. That's about, I think, about 600K. That's on the side, right? But for that now, I would have to let's say pay the HR, let's say about 100K, and data, let's say about another 100K. So I'm basically making about 400k on that product on the side, which is still something. But I would want to run ads to publicize that class. Like let's say I'll spend another 100k for running ads, so I would make roughly about 300k, which is still kind of fair, but plus or minus, almost like giving a rough figure here. With the digital product, I can run ads like, okay, I'll like create the book on Canva for free, like put everything I have in a short book, and like put it on seller for free as well. But I would now want to run ads like let's say about 50k ads, right? But with that 50k, if I actually get my demographic right, I can get at least let's say about what's the word, about 200 people to buy that ebook. That is basically me getting more money using less energy. But I think that I can even have both as well. So the key is to basically think strategically and think smart. And now, if you have a community already, you might not have to really put a lot on ads. For me now, I have a newsletter and I also have a community on Telegram and an actual community as well. So I might not have to spend that much on ads, but I can basically sell within the community because I know it is an already existing problem. So in summary, you want to think strategically when it comes to turning your passion into a product or a service. What matters most to you? Your time or making the most money? For me it's time. So I basically want to do less in-person work, or like do less manual work, or do less energy zapping work, and have it basically in a structure that can function by itself, like having a product that can sell without me having to do anything like hosting a class and the likes. The next thing is to build an online presence. Now when it comes to building in public, you're validating whatever it is you want to sell. For example, now I can't say I am a career coach, but I have nothing that shows I am good at what I do, at least on my LinkedIn, right? So building a presence is basically you validating whatever you want to sell. So if you want to sell, let's say, hair care products, do you have an IG page that shows your hair thriving, or shows your hair care routine? Because you want to build an audience that can say, because when they check you out, they need to see the right stuff. Because one what's the word? One shaky ground can just turn almost anyone off. So you basically want to clear every doubt by being vocal about what you do on your socials. It is very, very important, because you can't say you are something and there is nothing to validate what you say you are. So build an online presence. It is very, very important. This is 2025. Build in public. Build in public. Next thing is to build social proof. Before you put a price tag on something, you might want to have a free or a teaser class. Think of it as hosting, let's say, a free class for about, like, let's say, a day or whatever, right? And you just tease them as to what you have in store when they pay for something more, right? So like we're allowing them to smell the popcorn. They can smell the popcorn, they can smell the jollof fries. But for them to now taste it, they need to pay. You get the vibe, right? Hosting the class is basically get results, because you will see people that are very forward, that can basically implement the tips that you give them, and they will get results. They'll be the one championing, oh, she's good at she's good, she's king of she's blah 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 blah. They will be your noisemakers, they'll be your cheerleaders. So hosting these free classes will give you cheerleaders that can then validate you when you want to have a paid class, because you can even then use their testimonials to even run ads that can get you more customers. Aside them even like talking about you and giving you credit on their own end, right? So build proof, host freebies, like do what's the word now? Do giveaways, right? But like make it pipeline in a way that kind of like it flows to the paid offering, or like the paid passion. So like cook the rice, like let them smell it. When they smell it, they can then now want to taste it, and you charge them money. You get, and it's basically what it's, because when they see the value you have to offer in the freebie, they will want more. It's a fact. They will want more. Yeah. The next thing is to collaborate and network. Network. Now imagine me having a career masterclass now, and I collaborate with, let's say, the Gen Z HR where I can now offer free resume templates or even a one-on-one consultation that comes with the package, right? Now, I won't have access to that if I don't know the owner of the Gen Z HR, right? So basically, think strategically. What are other things, or like who are other people that you can actually collaborate with, that you can even share the profit if at all it has to come to that, right? But basically make it good for both parties involved. Very important. Make it good for both parties involved. Then the next thing is to understand your value. What you have to offer matters. Because if people can come to you to help them solve their problems, like they're always asking you, like you've noticed that almost everybody comes to me to ask them to, like, to do something, like it is something that is in you that they find valuable, right? And if they find it valuable, that means it is worth putting a price tag on. Now, at first, you might not get any sales, but know that it doesn't affect your self-worth. It doesn't affect yourself. At the right time, you will get the right clients, right? So understand that what you have to offer is very valuable. It is of importance because it is solving a problem for an already existing market. Okay, so now let's recap. The first thing is to what? Identify your money maker. Identify your money maker. Find a passion that can solve a problem that already has an already existing audience, right? That's one thing. Then the next thing is to then turn that money maker to a product or a service. Find an avenue that that will be easy or that aligns with what matters to you, your time or more money, really. Right? That's the second step. The third step is to what? Build in public. Talk about what you do, build social proof. It is very important, right? Then the next thing to what is to get cheerleaders. Basically leverage social proof. Have a freebie, like have a pipeline, right? That is very important as well when it comes to selling a digital product or putting a price tag on your passion. And the next thing is to collaborate and network. You need people. You need people. Then lastly, you need to understand your value. It is of utmost importance to understand what you have to offer, because if you don't see the importance of your value, of your asset, people would then like tend to define it for you, and you will believe what they have to say. And it is a very dangerous thing if you can't see the value in your skills, in your passion, in what you have to offer, because you then become easily malleable. You can be tossed aside if you don't know who you are and what you have to offer. Very important. So with that, we have come to the end of today's video, and I hope you found it very insightful and interesting. And I can't wait to have more videos like this talking about passion, tech, money, career. I really do enjoy making these kind of videos. So if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. I will be back in my next video. Mwah.